Esther Munyangwe, Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services, noted that because of its complexity and the many factors involved, action on whether to legalize abortion or not will take a while to be concluded.
It's not the first time also that this topic is coming up in the National Assembly. So what does it tell you? It tells you that it has been discussed, but there was never a conclusion to it. I also understand that in the time of Honorable Libertina Madila, when she was the minister of this ministry, there was also an attempt to discuss the issue. People went out to communities and so on. So that shows that it has been coming on for a long time, and that is why, as a ministry also, we think that it may be about time to come to a conclusion and decide what exactly needs to be done. At the moment, we are very far from legalizing or not legalizing it, because we first need to hear the opinions, the different views that people have. Let us understand the topic holistically, because it's not just abortion. It's more than that. You have the cultural factors, you have cultural values that are also attached to the topic.
Paralegal at the Legal Assistance Center says Namibia is still in the early stages of making a decision on the matter, adding that once made, it should support women's reproductive rights.
In terms of Namibia, we are still in the baby steps stage. So we need to consider a lot of things. It's not a straightforward answer. It's not an answer that you can say, yeah, definitely it will be good for Namibia or it will not be good. If you, for instance, take, if you have the money to go for a legal abortion, you can easily go to South Africa and get an abortion and come back. But then the question is, what about the woman who cannot afford to do a legal abortion, for instance, in another country? So there's a lot of things that we still need to consider. It's not a black and white answer. Although some of the people in Namibia oppose abortions, we feel that it should not be mandated by law. It should be about a personal choice that any woman is having. So there's no scientific or human rights-based consensus on the issue. It's very important probably to know. Purely religious views cannot be imposed on the public law in a secular state like Namibia. We advocate for that increased scope to decide on whether or not to have an abortion should be a couple of things. Firstly, the improved access of family planning for everyone, but especially for girls and women. We also need to have continued action to prevent gender-based violence and gender inequality, which can lead to unwanted pregnancies. And most abortions, or some abortions, is a result of unwanted pregnancies in Namibia.
Munyangwe further urged Namibians to keep an open mind and not follow emotions when engaging in the matter.
The motion is very clear. It's about creating platforms for the Namibians to express themselves, to talk about the issue. And that is why the open debate and discussion, because we also want to hear from the pro-choice. What are their arguments? What are their justification? What do they say? Is it only about that the woman, it's her body and it's her right and she has to decide on her body? Yes, that is true. One understands that. But her rights should also be accompanied with responsibilities. And even when we talk about pro-life, it should not only end with keeping the baby, the pregnancy, giving birth, and after birth, you get rid of the baby and give it to someone else to take care of that child. So that should also be pro-life, because now I have to provide life and livelihood to this person that I'm bringing into the world. So it's a lot of things that we need to argue